The honourable member from Kelowna Lake Country.
Mr. Speaker, after 9 years, this NDP Liberal Prime Minister is not worth the crime, chaos, drugs and disorder. The Liberal Minister responsible for the legislation of hard drugs like fentanyl, meth and crack in British Columbia is still clinging to parts of the Liberals' wacko hard drug legislation experiment. Public open drug use is rampant in our streets. People are even afraid to take their dogs out to walk around their own neighbourhoods. On what day will the Prime Minister completely end this failed radical drug policy?
The Honourable Minister for Mental Health and Addictions.
Mr. Speaker, let me be clear. Today we said yes to BC's request for an amendment to their pilot project. The pilot program that BC asked the federal government to work with them with compassion, conviction, science and health expertise, Mr. Speaker. BC knows perfectly well, as the advocates and families who are part of this project, that we need to have a public health and public safety approach to this to save lives.
But it's not safe. There's nothing safe about it.
The honourable member from Kelowna Lake Country.
Well, Mr. Speaker, that minister is still supporting hard drug legalization, and here's how it's playing out in our communities. A resident from my community just told me about an incident she witnessed at a local clothing store where a man threatened the two ladies working there, screaming, stomping, and overturning displays. I was on the phone the other day with another resident who works at a street front office, and I could barely hear her due to the screaming just outside her window. And yet this minister clings to parts of her wacko legalization policy of fentanyl, meth and crack. Again, on what day will the Prime Minister completely end this failed drug policy experiment?
Before we continue with the answer from the government health leader, I'm going to ask the honourable member from New Westminster Burnaby please to not comment while members are asking the question. He doesn't have the floor at this time. The honourable government health leader.
Speaker, of course the Minister and the Prime Minister have dealt with that question, but what is important is to review the past couple of weeks, a very disturbing trend in this country, Mr. Speaker, where the Leader of the Opposition has refused to disavow, to say it's unwelcome to have the support of white supremacists. Then he goes and winks and says, I will make the laws and I will decide what rights exist in this country. Right. What rights is he going to take away? What rights does he intend to take away? Is it women's reproductive rights? Is it the right to freedom of expression?
Greg.
Stand up and tell us what rights you take away.
Come on, Greg. Come on, Greg. He's screaming. He's calling in a parliamentarian's character. Come on, Greg. Make him retract the statement.
Colleagues, the amount of time that the Speaker has to spend getting up to asking members who don't have the floor to please not take the floor is almost equivalent to a question. I would like members, please, to make sure that we could have our question period move along quickly, that members please refrain from speaking when the members are asking questions, and that members refrain from speaking when a member is answering questions. L'honorable député.